John Moxley, Cesaro. Way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy. And Saturdays on NBC, these five guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. Recount Thursday brings to you the wrestler on the week.
All right, week number 19 in our pro wrestling wrestlers of the year nominations. What do you mean, Charlie? What the hell are we? Chopped liver, man? What the hell's your problem? Tim, we can't hear you.
He's here, and that's all that should matter to him.
Jesus. What the hell? Let's see here. Do you, Tyler, stick with us, man. We are going to have our SummerSlam predictions coming up here. Great question.
The answer for right now is maybe.
Maybe it's possible, but yeah, stick with us, and we will get to that here in just a little bit. Our SummerSlam predictions, but Mike said he's still here. Yeah, Charlie, what you got to stop throwing around the insults, brother. Let's start with Ryan, who is not with us this week at all. We got Index, Indy Hartwell, and Dexter Loomis is his number 3 pick of the week. Deonna Purrazzo, his number 2, and Christian Cage is Ryan's number 1. Does anybody want to go next? Let's see. Everybody is watching TNT, waiting for tomorrow night. Yeah, tomorrow night obviously could be a big night. Charlie says because he's a heel.
I'm a heel.
Devin's still here every freaking week. Devin, absolutely.
Yes, and I understand the pro wrestling scorecards are up. Be sure to check out Facebook for our latest post on joining our faction. Yes. And with that said, you shouldn't even bother filling it out because I'm going to beat you. But on the off chance that you beat me,
you're doing this again.
Look, one time is a fluke.
All right, that's fair.
One time is me sleeping. I'm not sleeping no more. I'm going undefeated for the remainder of the wrestling calendar year. And if you beat me at the Summerfest, you get to take my picks for Wrestler of the Week. But that ain't gonna happen. And Devin,
I
will go so far as to say I will beat Devin by 20 points.
Hello. Oh. Look at that. Throwing it down.
I will beat him by 20. 2-0.
Shots fired.
20.
2-0. All right. Let's knock intern Mark's out of the way here, then we'll get to ours. Mark had just Indy at number 3, Indy Hartwell, or Indy Wrestling, as I'm sure he would call her. Deonna Purrazzo is his number 2, and Christian Cage also his number 1. So, Matt or Tim, either one of you guys want to go next?
I would love to go.
All right.
Unlike that fake stuff they do on NXT, AEW does real engagements in the middle of the ring.
Oh.
A big congratulations to Sammy Guevara for getting engaged this week on television, and a nice strong effort versus the Canadian God, the chairman, Jan Spears. Probably the most entertaining Sean Spears has looked in quite some time. And that's all Sammy Guevara's fault. Number 2, double champ herself, Deonna Purrazzo, going to Triple Mania and picking up the Reinas Championship. I believe that's what it's called in a Triple A. And number 1, climbing the insurmountable summit known as Kenny Omega, Christian Cage successfully wins the Impact World Championship on the debut episode of Friday Night Rampage for AEW.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about Rampage coming up here. We talk about AEW. Fun little show though. Fun little show, hour long. Devin says, "Bring it on." You're going down at the Summerfest.
We will ban you from the Summerfest.
Just so you know, you losing to me by 19 points isn't you bringing it on. Like, I'm saying I'm going to beat you and it's going to be by 20. But if I still beat you by 19, it just means that the math was wrong, but the result was still right. Like, you understand? Like, if I finish first, you could finish second or 102nd. I still beat you. Okay.
Tyler, yeah, stick with us there too. He says we'll see CM Punk be in AEW in Chicago. Again, maybe.
Hard maybe.
Hard
Maybe.
Hard maybe. We will talk about that coming up in a little bit as well. Matt, you want to go? You want me to give mine?
I can go.
Right, go ahead.
Number 3, I had Christian Cage for the winning of the title. Big moment for him for sure. Number 2, Deonna Purrazzo, former guest of the show. Hey, for winning that Reina de Reinas title down in AAA. And number 1, Brian Myers gets the number 1 contender spot for the Impact World title. I mainly put him as my number 1 just so we would have 2 Impact people. Actually 3, I guess, in our top 3 for the week. So I wanted to ensure that he got those full 5 points, because typically I would have reversed my 1 and 3. Little politicking.
Yeah, that Brian Myers.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah, that Brian Myers number 1 contendership, he cashes in on that at the, I believe it's the Impact Plus event Emergence,
which is tomorrow.
Is that?
Like, yeah, it's tomorrow night, and it's a pre-tape, right?
I'm not sure if it is.
I believe it is.
Okay.
Devin says he's doubling down. Oh man.
Oh.
Do what you got to do, Devin. He said, "I'll beat you by 40 points."
Now he's
40. Yeah, Devin, I love you, buddy, but that's
he's swinging that big.
Do we need to like look at the PW scorecards? Like,
well, I don't think the SummerSlam one even dropped yet.
It has dropped.
Oh, did it?
Yes.
Devin, your
heart
for you, Devin, but
he's here trying. He's out here doing his best. Let me just remind everyone. So at Money in the Bank, I beat him by 8, which is okay. That's but close. Again, I admitted I beat myself for that. If we go to Takeover in Your House, I beat him by 8. So again, my math may be wrong. Let's look at Hell in a Cell. Oh, Hell in a Cell, I beat you by 11. And then Against All Odds, neither of us played. So like I said, it's gonna be 20 this pay-per-view. You can't even get with you average around 10 points under me, and you're gonna beat me by 40. Only way that happens, bud, is if I slip and fall and bump my head and forget how to log into Twitter, which is connected to Pro Wrestling Scorecards. It's not happening. There's a button on the soundboard, Jim, that will tell Big Dick Devin the percent chance he has of beating me, much less by 40 points at the SummerSlam card. So if you want to hit that,
I got you.
Yeah, right here.
0.0.
That's right. 0.0.
There it is. My 3 for this week. I also have, if I can get the cursor over here, I have Deonna Purrazzo as my number 3. Winning the title at AAA. My number 2. Apparently, there was another show last Friday night where we saw an Intercontinental title change, a really fun match between the King Nakamura and Apollo Crews, where we crowned a new Intercontinental Champion. So King Nakamura found his way to number 2 on my list. And number 1, great match from the opening of AEW Rampage. Christian Cage is my number 1. So rounding out almost the clean sweep this week for old Christian Cage. But Tim, where does that leave us for the week? Where does that leave us for the year?
So for the week, King Nakamura, the new Intercontinental Champion, is in 4th place, earning 1 point. Brian Myers, the most professional wrestler, is in 3rd place with 5. Deonna Purrazzo, the virtuosa herself, 13 points, giving her 2nd place honors. And number 1 with 20 points is the instant classic Christian Cage, taking top honors for week number 19. In our standings overall, you see that the list is a little shorter because the gap is getting wider. Christian Cage makes a huge jump from being not on the top leaderboards now to sole possession of 7th place, just a few shy of the Killer Karrion Kross and Bianca Belair. Unfortunately, it's a happy trails for everyone who has at least earned 10 points. Not enough room for you on the spreadsheet. That includes Cool Kyle, but that may change after TakeOver 36.
It certainly could. And that's where that leaves us for week number 19.
Since John Moxley and Cesaro, way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy, and Saturdays on NBC. These 5 guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. Come Thursday brings to you the wrestler on the week.